Well, good afternoon. It's just after 12 o'clock here, and I'm in the small little village town of Foca or Focha, I'm not sure how you say it. The ocean's right in front of me, which is always a nice setting for these videos. And yeah, I won't say anything else about today because this video is supposed to be about yesterday because I didn't have a chance to record it basically because when I wild camp, basically I settle in, set up the tent just at around, as the sun is going down. So it doesn't really make for a good setting for recording these videos because the sun's down and it's dark, and there's no real lighting except for my head torch. So that's why these videos have been coming in the morning more recently. And yeah, yesterday, so again, a somewhat frustrating day, unfortunately, here in Turkey because pretty soon after I recorded that video yesterday morning, I set off again and I was riding along the beach, and there's a really nice bike path through Izmir, which I was enjoying, and then yeah, pretty much straight away I got another flat tire. So my front tire was flat again, and I pulled over on the side of the cycle path and set about restoring that one, which sent me back another half an hour or so. And after that, it was all good. I kept going, and I was really impressed because yeah, that cycle path is part of the Eurovelo 8, and there was lots of signs around and bike stations with like pumps. I mean, most of the pumps were missing, but there was one with a nice floor pump that I used, and some tools for repairing your bike and stuff. And yeah, lots of signs explaining what the Eurovelo was about, and some information about where the route was going, and how it was important for tourism and stuff like that. So it was quite cool to see actually, and I was yeah, enjoying that. And I stopped at a cafe because I was trying to get some internet and figure out how I could get a SIM card, and what else? I wanted to find a phone store for fixing my phone screen because it's just been getting worse and worse again, and basically my phone is almost unusable at this point. So I sat down at the cafe for a while and had a coffee and used the internet, and man, every time like I log back into the internet, it's super stressful because like you get like all of these notifications and emails and stuff all coming to you at once, and you just want to turn it off again, and go back to living without it. But unfortunately, it is kind of very handy for some things. So I looked up a phone store to fix it. Unfortunately, yesterday was Sunday, so basically everything was closed, including most of the bike shops, because that's another thing I wanted to do, get some more spare tubes. But basically everything was closed. I managed to find one place to repair my phone, and then the bike shop on the other side of town. So I went over to the phone repair place first, and he looked at my phone. He said, "Nah, there's nothing we can do about this. This is a Google. We don't look at Googles here." And so then I wanted to go find a phone SIM card, and I went and looked at a couple of phone shops. They have like Vodafone and Turkcell, and then another Turk phone place as well. And yeah, all of them were saying the only SIM card I could get was like a tourist SIM card, which costs like $40 and comes with like 30 gigs of data, which is like way more than I need. So I didn't want that either. So that's a bit frustrating because I couldn't just get like 1 gig of data or something to help like look up booking stuff and stuff like that. So that was not possible. And then I went to the bike shop, and there was like a bunch of not kids but young adults sitting around like smoking and having lunch, and I'm not sure they were expecting any customers, but I asked them for a tube, and they didn't speak much English, but one of the guys had a look at my tires, and he came back and said they don't have any tubes of that size, but he can get one. So he went away. I'm not sure where he was going to buy them because yeah, there must be a wholesaler or something that he gets them from and then sells them on to the customer. But he went away for a bit, so I said I'd be back, and I went away um, and had a look around town. I found some more sunglasses to replace the ones that I had lost a few days ago, which I'm not sure I mentioned. So my eyes were just burning riding the last couple of days, so I got another pair of sunglasses, so that was a win. And then I went back to the bike shop, and he found me a tube, but it was a Schrader valve, so it was the wrong one. And I told him, and he went, okay. He went back again, and he went looking for another tube. And then at this point, I went and went back to the market where I was talking to the people for my SIM card and my sunglasses. And there was heaps of like local food being sold there. So I went to some place, and again, no one spoke English, but I just pointed at a few things that I looked really good, and hopefully didn't have any meat in them, and I ended up with an amazing lunch, like some, I don't know, tabbouleh and hummus and some like veggie patties and beans and stuff, and it was really good, and it was like $6 or something, really cheap. So that was awesome. That was my first kind of like proper Turkish street food, I think, which was great. And I went back to the bike shop, and yeah, they had the Presta style tube, so I bought that. And then finally, it was about 2 o'clock or something at this point. It was ready to go. It was time to go. So I set off again, and at this point I was just kind of resigned to the fact that I wasn't going to get very far today, which is fine because I'm not under such a time limit anymore, so it wasn't really a problem. And so I kept going out of town, and the cycle path continued until it got to like this nature reserve, which was all about like salt flats, and there was a huge colony of flamingos living there. About 20,000 pairs of breeding flamingos lived there, so that was pretty amazing. Getting to cycle alongside that, and then the cycle path eventually went into the nature reserve, and yeah, that was really cool with the ocean, on one side with the salt flats and all the flamingos doing their thing. So yeah, that was a really cool part of the day. Actually, I really enjoyed that, and then like soon after that, the path kind of went back into like these more like rural villages, and I cycled through a small town, and there was a bunch of like people kind of gathered in the town square playing cards and drinking a chai and stuff. And I went into a little store and got a little bottle of Coca-Cola, and the guy didn't speak any English either, but like when he saw me coming in, he just said welcome, and it just felt nice because I felt like, all right, I'm back in Asia. This is how it feels in Asia. And I kind of had that moment where I felt, all right, I'm out of Europe. This is Asia again, and it felt nice. I missed it, I guess. And what else? I'm just rambling. Sorry. And I kept going after that, and I went past a huge shed, and it was full of a humongous mound of wool, and like it would have been 10 meters high, this mound of wool. And so I stopped, and there was again a bunch of guys sitting outside having a break from work. I guess they were the ones gathering it, and I just asked if I could take a photo, and they said yes, it's okay. Again, they didn't speak much English, but they were happy to let me come in and take a photo. And then as I did that, one of the guys got up and started like using the bulldozer to start collecting it and putting it into another truck so they could take it away, which was really funny. And in order to like go and talk to them, I had to ride over some patch of like grass off the road, and as soon as I'd done that, I had thought, oh crap, I've probably got thorns all in my tires again. So I looked down, and sure enough, I did have about 3 thorns stuck in both my tires, but luckily because I had found them straight away, I was able to pull them out and they didn't pierce. So that was really lucky. Saved myself a disaster there. And then yeah, got some photos of this giant pile of wool, which was pretty cool. And was just enjoying, not taking, like not going fast and just having these interactions with the locals and seeing what they were up to, and kind of just chilling throughout the day, which was really cool. And after that, I was cruising on the highway and it was getting darker again and about time to find somewhere to sleep. And I rode past a huge wind turbine kind of factory facility, where they had all of the blades just like stacked on top of each other. And it took me a second to realize what they were until I saw in the distance the wind turbines actually up on the hill spinning, and I was like, oh yeah, those are the blades. And they again would have been, I don't know, maybe 50 meters long or something. They were huge, and dozens of them stacked on top of each other. And then yeah, I kind of ducked down a hill behind some trees, and then found a nice field of green grass, and I set up my tent there and had some noodles for dinner, which was a really nice way to end the day actually. And by like 8 p.m. I was in my tent reading my book on what's it even called? I forget, but the one by Carl Jung, the psychology essay, textbook, whatever you want to call it, which I've been trying to get through for a few months now. I just haven't been able to. And so I was reading that and kind of finding it interesting and kind of just not. And then yeah, at about 8 o'clock I was like falling asleep, so I just went to bed. And yeah, that was yesterday. So yeah, I won't say too much about today because that's a story for another time. But yeah, I'm on my way to Dikili, a couple 100 kilometers away. It's been fairly flat so far. And yeah, I'll be in Istanbul in a few days, hopefully, if I don't get too many more flats. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. See ya.